One of the hottest vehicle segments in the Philippines is the compact crossover category, but if you look at the local pricing, there appears to be a wide gap between the offerings from the mainstream car brands and those that come from Chinese car makers. However, there is one compact SUV from a mainstream brand that offers a huge value proposition. This right here. You see, this, my friends, is the gasoline-powered Hyundai Tucson GLS. And in this video, I'm going to share with you why this is a solid choice. Let's do this. Inflation is inevitable. As car prices keep going up, mainstream choices get smaller and smaller for more and more money. That is a reality that this gasoline-powered Hyundai Tucson GLS wants to address. Hyundai has kept the pricing of the gasoline Tucson at only 1,570,000 Philippine pesos, which, if you consider it, is quite affordable for a mainstream compact crossover of its size. Now the question is, what's the catch? Did they cripple the Hyundai Tucson GLS in terms of features and performance? Did they sacrifice on build quality? Well, time to find out. Here at Reagan's Rides, we do car reviews of SUVs, sports cars, trucks, and everything in between. So subscribe and hit the bell. If you're a long-time viewer of mine, then you know that I have a bias towards driving performance whenever I review these cars. Now, as a driving enthusiast, more power is always appreciated, as well as a well-sorted overall driving feel. Now, having said that, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that would be the absolute power output of this gasoline-fed Tucson GLS. You see, we don't have the diesel engine here, so yeah, we don't get that, the gobs of torque and that pull that I got to experience with a diesel-fed GLS Plus. Instead, we only have a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated gasoline engine here that can only put out, a measly 154 horsepower and 192 Newton meters of torque. Now, take a look at that torque figure, dude. I mean, 192 Newton meters, it's okay, it's decent if you're not comparing it to the Tucson GLS Plus, the diesel-powered Tucson GLS Plus. But that 192 Newton meters of torque, that is less than half the torque that you can get from the top-spec Tucson diesel. Yep. So that means that acceleration of this gasoline Tucson is, it's underwhelming, dude. I mean, it's anemic. I mean, when you compare it to the diesel Tucson, it's really anemic. It won't pinion your seat, and even if you put it in sport mode, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, it's sorry to say. I mean, I'm not saying that it's underpowered. It's not. It's decent. But when you compare it to the bigger brother, the top spec brother, that's where you can really see the difference. Now, we also have 2 less gears here because the gasoline Tucson in the Philippines only gets a 6-speed automatic transmission versus the 8-speed found in the diesel-fed Tucson. So yes, power is Power is underwhelming, but it still performs better than, let's say, a small MPV or let's say a subcompact crossover from a mainstream brand within the same price category. So yeah, it could, if you keep your drives relaxed, then this Tucson GLS will perform. I mean, it's okay. It will deliver the goods. It's not gonna wow you, but it can still go up steep roads. Yeah, and I was able to prove that because when I got this lend out, the first thing it did was to go up my 17-degree parking ramp in my building, and it was able to do that without any issues. So yeah, can it go up to Baguio? Definitely it can. It can go up to Baguio. It can go up steep mountain roads. But if you're expecting like seat in your pants, wow type of acceleration, same one that we experience in the diesel-fed Tucson, we don't get that here. Now there's more to these commuter crossovers than just absolute raw power, and in the other areas of the drive, well, the Tucson GLS delivers. It even excels, in fact. I mean, the steering feel is fantastic. It's perfectly weighted, and the steering response is above average for a compact crossover. Visibility is also pretty good, and we also have 4 drive modes here. I mean, same as the diesel-fed Tucson GLS Plus. We've got Eco, Normal, Sport, and Smart. But do yourself a favor and just stick to Normal and Sport mode whenever you're driving this thing. Unless you're stuck in a traffic jam, or let's say you're trying to do a fuel economy run, then you can use the Eco drive mode. Now, speaking of fuel economy run, yeah, the fuel efficiency of the Tucson GLS is also just, it's just so-so. I mean, on a light city drive, I was able to get 8 kilometers per liter, and it goes up to 15 kilometers per liter on the highway. So, yeah, it's nothing special. When you compare it to the diesel Tucson, see, what happens is we're down on power. The fuel economy is not spectacular. I mean, the diesel-fed Tucson has better fuel consumption figures. So does that mean that the only good thing going on for this gasoline-fed Tucson is the price? Not quite. You see, there was a time when most people would consider driving performance to be such a big thing, but nowadays, well, not so much. In fact, for regular crossovers like the Hyundai Tucson, most people would consider looks, features, and price a lot more than the overall driving performance. Now, the good thing there is when it comes to looks, this Hyundai Tucson GLS fully delivers. You see, we have the exact same look as the diesel-fed Tucson GLS Plus, which means that we have this futuristic-looking front grille there. We have these LED DRLs neatly incorporated with that front grille, plus we have full LED headlight units found here on the side. Here on the side, we get a bunch of geometric lines on the body panels that truly set the Tucson apart from the rest of the competition. In fact, in this cream white color, these geometric lines are even more pronounced, which it really accentuates the beauty of the design of this Hyundai Tucson. Now, we also get power folding side mirrors here with LED turn signals, and we also have 18-inch alloy wheels, which is a size down from the 19s found in the diesel-fed Tucson GLS Plus. However, behind those wheels, we still get the same premium mechanical bits as the top-spec diesel trim. That means that we have 4-wheel disc brakes here, and for the suspension, it rides on MacPherson's up front and a multi-link rear suspension. Now, the ground clearance is at 181 millimeters, which is pretty much average for a city-going compact crossover. The cockpit also delivers quite well considering the price for a mainstream compact crossover. I mean, we get a well-designed cockpit here that has a wraparound thing going on to it, which personally I like. Now, we also have manual leather seats here. You'll need to go up to the diesel trim if you want a power adjustable driver's seat, but personally it's not really a big deal for me. We also have a leather wrap steering wheel, which gets a tilt and telescoping function, so that's pretty good, although we don't have paddle shifters here. Now, the thing is, with the kind of engine that this Tucson GLS is equipped, well, I don't really see the need for paddle shifters. I mean, this, my friends, is really meant for more relaxed driving. Now we also have a fully digital gauge cluster there. This is a 10-inch digital display as well as an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system that is pretty well spec'd. You see, we have wireless Apple CarPlay here plus wireless Android Auto, although we don't get a 360-degree view camera image because we only have a reverse camera image there. I mean, that's pretty much the same that's found in the top spec diesel Tucson. So as much as I'd appreciate a 360-degree view camera image, well, we only have a reverse camera for the Tucson GLS. Now, another missing thing here is we don't have a panoramic sunroof. Heck, we don't even have a regular sunroof, which, it might seem like a deal breaker for some people, but there would be others who would appreciate the no sunroof there because that means that there would be lesser maintenance costs down the line. Now, considering that we have a Korean compact crossover here in the Hyundai Tucson for less than 1.6 million, the lack of the 360-degree view camera image and the sunroof, it's totally not a deal breaker for me. Unfortunately, this Tucson GLS doesn't really get any driver assist aids. I mean, we didn't get that in the top spec diesel-fed GLS Plus, so we cannot also expect that here. Now, that's a bit of a bummer considering that Hyundai has always had great safety specs in other markets, but unfortunately we don't get that here. We only get all of these passive safety features that you're now seeing on your screen, which, well, if you ask my opinion on this, I think it's really more of a give and take. I mean, in order for Hyundai Philippines to give us this kind of pricing for a compact crossover, well, they had to take some cuts along the way. Now, at least on the highway, the NVH is pretty good. I mean, right now we're on the highway and the wind noise has been minimized. It's really quiet here, and the road noise is also, it's hardly heard. You don't really hear much road noise here. And since we have a gasoline-fed engine under the hood, well, the vibration is also much better than the diesel-fed GLS Plus. So, in terms of cabin comfort and and the overall drive when you're going on a long drive on the highway, it's above average. It's really quite good, in fact. Now, as for the back seat, let's go and check it out. Alright, so as I said in my unboxing video of the Tucson GLS last year, the backseat space is large enough to accommodate 5 Pinoy adults on their way to a fiesta. I mean, guys, I'm not kidding. This is really spacious for a compact crossover in its price category. Now, this is the long wheelbase Tucson, which explains the gobs of space that we get here. Now, the amenities is also quite decent because we have a pair of rear AC vents there, a pair of USB charge ports, and a center armrest with a pair of cup holders. The rear end of the Hyundai Tucson is one of the most gorgeous rear ends in the compact crossover class. You see, we get this awesome looking LED lighting units here, from the double fang LED taillights down to that LED light strip in the middle. Now, if you'll notice, because of this gorgeous design though, they kind of ran out of space where they're gonna put the Hyundai badge. So yeah, you'll notice it's right there on the rear glass. So they just decided to slap that there and call it a day. Anyway, it still looks gorgeous, but when you pop open the manual liftgate, yeah, we only get a manual liftgate here. You'll have to spring for the top spec diesel Tucson in order to get a power liftgate. But when you have that open, you'll see that we have a large amount of cargo space here. In fact, it's so big that you can take this large Sky Travel luggage here and you can put it right there, and you have enough space for a second large Sky Travel luggage beside it and a third one on top. Now, in case you need more space, you can always split fold the back seats for more space, and you'll be happy to know that the Hyundai Tucson is is one of the rarer compact crossovers out there that come with a full-size spare tire instead of a donut spare tire or a fix-a-flat. There was a time when horsepower and driving performance meant a lot when buying a car. But lately, it seems that features, price, space, and comfort have become bigger considerations. With this in mind, the Hyundai Tucson GLS offers quite a great value. While it may not have the sheer torque of the diesel trim, it more than delivers in terms of driving comfort, space, and connectivity. And to most people, that is already enough. Thanks for watching.